Hello, fellow fight fans. This is Matt, the Hipster Hunter. Hipsters here, haters beware, and it is our top 10 boxing fights of the year so far, 2018. Hope you enjoyed the list. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and let me know what you think about it in the comment section below, and where I'm wrong and where I'm right. Starting at number 10, Josh Taylor versus Viktor Postol. Taylor versus Postol was seemingly a passing of the torch moment for Taylor heading into the fight. If he had won this fight, he would be in the World Boxing Super Series and cement himself as an elite force in the junior welterweight division. Postol at first was able to keep Taylor on the outside and connect with clean, straight punches almost at will. It seemed as if the younger boxer wasn't ready for the step up, but Taylor made the necessary adjustments and was starting to connect more efficiently with his shots as the fight wore on. Also, Postol lost the real estate battle as Taylor started to get on the inside with ease. It all led to an emphatic knockdown in the 10th via a wide left hook from Taylor. Both men battled for the rest of the fight, but it was clear Taylor made the right adjustments and won the fight down the stretch, putting himself in the World Boxing Super Series with the likes of Regis Prograis. At number 9, Adonis Stevenson versus Badou Jack. Stevenson versus Jack was a fight that took a while to make, and the process grew a ton of anticipation because of it. Also, this was, on paper, the hardest fight for Stevenson in quite a long time. Both men made it clear they weren't fond of each other heading into the fight, and as the fight started, Stevenson opened up the fight aggressive, landing the wider, harder shots on Jack, which was atypical of what Stevenson usually likes to do, being the counterpuncher, trying to land that left straight down the pipe. Jack's cleaner work and tighter offense, though, definitely led him to be more competitive as the fight wore on. In the second half of the fight, led him to be more of the leading partner in the matchup. The fight was too close to call, though, as both guys landed significant shots. Both guys had their moments. It had ebbs and flows up and down for both men, and the fight was scored a draw, which was a fun fight for us, even though we did not get a clear, concise winner in it. At number 8, Oscar Valdez versus Scott Quigg. Valdez versus Quigg was a fight that on paper shouldn't produce a Fight of the Year contender, but this back and forth slugfest that disfigured both fighters is something to both be in awe of and to be absolutely horrified for. Quigg came in the fight heavy and missed weight, but he used that size advantage to push around and punish Valdez. Valdez, usually the more aggressive boxer in his fights, wasn't comfortable on the back foot and really had to adapt to what Quigg was putting on the table and presenting to him. Valdez was able to land more shots on the inside and through that win enough rounds to win the fight, but at a massive cost. Both Valdez and Quigg received massive punishment in the fight, Valdez having an injured jaw and Scott Quigg having a broken nose. Valdez, though, definitely showing a few more levels to his game than what we thought previously as just a forward, aggressive power puncher. He definitely showed some more boxing skill in this fight. At number 7, Alexander Usyk versus Marius Briedis. Usyk versus Briedis for a World Boxing Super Series semifinal and a title unification as well. Wasn't really thought of to be an exciting fight by the wide majority of boxing fans, but what we got instead was a tight, close decision that is still debated today, and simultaneously a fight that was high-paced, high volume, and highly skilled. Both fighters fought the majority of the fight at mid-range or in the phone booth, slipping off the center line and throwing massive combinations to the body and uppercuts up top. While this fight lacks in terms of knockdowns and a finish, the activity rate combined with the skill displayed was something to behold and talk about, especially if you are a hardcore fan trying to get more casual fans into the sport. At number 6, Deontay Wilder versus Luis Ortiz. Wilder versus Luis Ortiz already had plenty of drama and storylines heading into the much anticipated bout. First, the fight being canceled late last year due to a positive PED test from Luis Ortiz, and eventually the WBC and VADA came to the conclusion that Ortiz was innocent due to blood pressure medication. Secondly, Ortiz being easily the toughest and most difficult opponent of Wilder's career so far. Many in the boxing community were discounting Wilder not only in this fight but in the larger heavyweight picture. After the first few rounds of a tentative range-finding jabs and combinations with neither guy really being that active and overly cautious, Wilder knocked down Ortiz with a laser-guided right straight, and the fight exploded from there. Ortiz would end up hurting Wilder and load a barrage of combinations that had some screaming for the fight to be stopped in the 7th round. Wilder survived the onslaught and eventually got his legs back under him. He then would unload his own onslaught, knocking him down twice, finishing Ortiz in the 11th with a sneaky uppercut. And in the process, Wilder cemented himself as a clear elite heavyweight with the fight-changing power at the highest level, plus setting up a future mega fight with unified champion Anthony Joshua. Wilder's here, ladies and gentlemen. This fight showed it in a fantastic back-and-forth affair. Number 5, Jesse Magdaleno versus Isaac Dogboe. Heading into this fight, most of the boxing community thought this would be another great performance from Jesse Magdaleno. However, unknown Isaac Dogboe had other intentions. The fight started with Magdaleno knocking down Dogboe in the first round, giving the impression that we were all right. However, Dogboe got up and started throwing harder, faster shots than Magdaleno and targeted the body of Jesse with pinpoint precision and devastating power shots. Magdaleno went from in control and outboxing Dogboe to having to survive and evade the absurd aggression from Isaac Dogboe. Jesse would get knocked down in the 5th round and twice in the 11th before the fight was called off via KO upset win for Isaac Dogboe, and a new star is born. At number 4, Erislandy Lara versus Jarrett Hurd. The supremely skilled veteran and longtime champion versus the young giant with unlimited durability. A long-time storyline we've seen in boxing. Lara versus Hurd was a fight that was highly anticipated by the boxing community and had that community split on what would happen. Would Lara's Cuban boxing school be enough to style on the inexperienced and young Jarrett Hurd, or would Jarrett Hurd's power, aggression, and overall power be too much for the older Lara? The fight was back and forth, with some rounds showing the skill and IQ of Lara, while others showed that Hurd is a destructive force of nature in the ring that cannot be stopped by a mere man. By the final round, both men were bloody, tired, and in desperate need of winning the last round. The fight was closer than either fighter wanted, and Hurd was able to capitalize on the older Lara, who had faded a little bit more than himself. Hurd was able to walk Lara down and knock him down in the final round, and with that, narrowly claiming split decision victory and setting up the super fight with Jermell Charlo. Number 3, Murat Gassiev versus Yoner Dorticos. Gassiev versus Dorticos for the World Boxing Super Series semifinal and a title unification to add to it already had enough drama heading into the bout. Then the bell rung, and Dorticos, having no fear for Gassiev's reputation as destroyer of hopes and dreams, walked Gassiev down for the majority of the fight, surprising, I think, everyone in attendance and everyone watching at home, and now setting up a fight that was quite different than even what we had thought, even though it was still an exciting, fun back-and-forth fight. Both men would throw hard combinations and land most of them, neither guy really known for the defensive skill. Dorticos seemed to be up on the scorecards heading into the 12th and final round, seemingly on our way to a Dorticos upset, yet Gassiev knew something that we didn't, that Dorticos was tired, he was hurt, and that Gassiev had enough energy to go all out, and Dorticos did not. And go all out he did, knocking Dorticos down twice in the final round before the fight was called off. Gassiev thus saved a spot in the World Boxing Super Series final with Alexander Usyk and showed heart and some new boxing skill to boot. Number 2, Alex Saucedo versus Lenny Zapovina, a fight that went under the radar. Alex Saucedo was looked as a heavy favorite going into this fight, but longtime player in the division Lenny Z wasn't going down without a fight. Both men threw out all caution and started battering each other until both were swollen and bloodied. Lenny Z went down in the 3rd round, but by the 7th round his eye was in horrific condition that the ref eventually waved off the fight in the 7th round, setting up Saucedo for a title showdown with new champion Maurice Hooker. And coming in at number 1, Derek Chisora versus Carlos Takam. And is it really that surprising? The fight started off with Takam attacking Chisora with no fear of retaliation or his cardio dipping. Both men fought on the inside and threw an insane amount of punches and combinations that the average heavyweight just cannot match, and they did that from the 1st round. Then as the rounds poured on, Chisora taking a beating of a lifetime. All of a sudden, Chisora landing 2 huge comeback knockdowns back-to-back to end the fight in the 8th round after being beaten from post to post by Carlos Takam. Fantastic performance, fantastic fight. Maybe Chisora worked his poor man's version of a rope-a-dope strategy, but whatever it was, great, exciting action. Heavyweight power being thrown around early and often, a huge comeback knockout victory, and a gatekeeper potentially resurrecting his career. What's not to love about this fight? And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed this top 10 boxing fights of the year so far in 2018 by me, Matt the Hipster Hunter, at Mixed Combat Radio. We're live every day, Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific on YouTube and obviously on podcast form later. Have a great day. Hope you enjoyed the show. Leave a comment below and like, subscribe, share. Peace.